Welcome back, everybody. I'm your consumer investigator, Dale Cardwell, and you're watching Trust Dale TV, where we work to solve your consumer problems. Before the commercial break, we saw a segment about a body repair shop that was basically holding a customer's truck hostage for 3 years. Unfortunately, there are disreputable people out there who are hoping you will be their next victim. Today in our regular segment, the Trust Dale Legal Lifeline, brought to you by the law firm of Clark in Washington, we want to learn what to do if you get stuck in a jam like Tony Lugo. Please welcome Tony and Tony's attorney, Jonathan Johnson.
Thank you, Dale.
Thank you, guys, for being with us. And Tony, thank you for staying with us. Jonathan, what was your first reaction when you heard Tony's story?
Well, my first reaction was complete outrage. What's happened here is a total miscarriage of justice. This gentleman's property has been taken and held and should be returned to him. It's really just a classic case of theft.
Let's take it one step at a time. The truck is being held. Mr. Lugo took the correct legal action and went to gain a judgment against Theo Paulus, correct?
Correct. And Mr. Paulus did not show up in court and has never showed up in court. And there are extensive history of other people bringing cases against Mr. Paulus where he never shows up.
So under normal circumstances, you have a judgment, someone has something that belongs to you, you have title to that property. You go to the police department and you ask the police department to assist you in recovering your property, correct?
Yes, that is correct. And Tony has done that. He went to the police department and was basically told that since it was a civil matter, they would not assist him, which, you know, kind of defies my understanding of the law. It's not clear to me why the police wouldn't simply instruct Mr. Poulos to open the gate and let us tow the truck out of the property.
Do you think it's possible that this is one of those alleged crimes that happened that just does not rise above the radar for the police department to want to get involved in?
I think it's one that they don't consider particularly significant because there's no harm, physical harm to a person, but it is a theft. It's just as if if someone had hot-wired the truck out of his carport and taken off with it. I think they would have shown a lot more interest.
Well, here's the crazy part, Jonathan. As I examined this and I talked to the district attorney's office, they told me that because a judgment had been rendered in the case, that the sheriff could go with Tony and take possession of the truck. The truck would be towed to the county impound lot, but then the truck would be subject to be sold on the courthouse steps to pay for the FIFE or the judgment, pay off the judgment. So it would actually put Tony in a position of having to buy his own truck back.
Yeah, I don't think that's correct. That would be true if the truck belonged to Mr. Poulos and it was his property. His property could be sold to pay off a judgment. This truck is not the property of Mr. Poulos. The truck is the property of Tony. So he wants his property back. He doesn't want it sold to pay his judgment. He just wants his property back. So it's not clear to me now. Other property belonging to Mr. Poulos could be sold if any could be located, but he's an individual who appears to keep all of his assets in the name of his wife.
Well, let me tell you what we're going to do about it, Tony and Jonathan. We're going to stay on top of this, and when you see us next time, we're going to do everything in our power to have Tony's truck back in his possession. And I want to say this to the Gwinnett County authorities and the Snellville Police Department. Do the right thing and help Mr. Lugo get his truck back, because we here at Trust Dale are going to make certain that that happens. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us, and I believe, Tony, you're going to be up on our upcoming radio show.
Cool.
Fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.